Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 22.
Hey, before we get into that, I want to tell the people to subscribe, like, comment, share, all the above. I want to start doing something new before every episode. I want to ask y'all questions so y'all can give me your opinions, but I want to ask it in the beginning of the episode so y'all can comment throughout the episode. You ready for the questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hopefully we answer these questions throughout the review. If not, we will answer them at the end. But question number 1. Is Keke jealous of Tisha? That's question number 1. Is Keke jealous of Tisha? Number 2. I don't want to get Tasha Cade, so I'm going to sing the second question. Is Keke fill in the blank. Right. Okay? Is Keke Okay? Y'all know what mean. Do like you know what mean?
On that.
Okay.
Yeah, on that.
Right? Number 3. Who do we believe? Do we believe Tisha and Marsau's side of the story? Or do we believe Keke and her husband's side of the story? All those questions make sense if you've seen the episode. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We are in the aftermath of Keke throwing the drink on Tisha.
Crazy.
Yes. Mel ends up going to talk to Keke and asks, how could we have handled this differently?
Please, Mel. Help us.
They both agree that Keke could have just ignored Tisha, like Tisha was ignoring her. But just Tisha ignoring Keke really just got her worked up, and she felt like she had to react.
Here's the thing. What did you think about the whole thing? Even though it was a continuation of last week of the scene where the husband's about to fight and Mel over there walking like, you see, this is why I don't let nobody come to my house because, you know, y'all crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What did you think so far about the confusion? Because that's basically what it was. It was just one big confusion.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think much of it other than like Keke shouldn't have thrown the water or the liquor. I don't know what she threw.
It was whatever it was.
It was a lot. Right.
Exactly.
All I could think of is, why would she do that? I could understand being irritated by being ignored because that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't like being ignored. But if that's the case, like Mel said, like you really could have walked away. It didn't have to be this way. So
I don't understand why you're, what's the word, objecting to getting kicked out. like you're a guest of these people's backyard, these people's house, fighting. And like you're mad or walking away, quote unquote, kind of upset that you are getting kicked out of the party. I'm like, Keke, you are a stranger basically to Kimmi and like Maurice. That's Marsau folks. You get what I'm saying? That's Tisha's sister-in-law. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so or rather brother-in-law rather. So it's like, Keke, I really don't understand what's going on with you. Because it just seemed like you came to the scene or came to this gathering with an agenda. And then once the agenda wasn't met, you just freestyled and were like, you know what, I'm going to start throwing things. Continue.
Tisha and Marsau talk to Kimmi. They're in the house. It looks like Kimmy's trying to help Tisha dry off or something like that. And Marsau says it all happened because they were ignoring Keke. They was. And he was saying that Keke really tries to get Tisha's attention. That's why she be in your face and all this type of stuff. And yeah. And then Kimmi says, well, why does Keke need to be involved and come to the house on 10? They were talking about the situation of somebody's ex trying to reach out to them to talk about how Marsau was cheating. And Kimmi just doesn't understand why Keke's involved to this degree. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Tisha says that Keke has a history of talking about her marriage. She did it again, and Tisha is done. Marsau is saying that Keke feels that Tisha is living the life that she should. Tisha says she's done, but Marsau says she's probably not. Like, she's going to give her cousin another chance eventually.
Wow. The thing that's funny, but it's like, Tisha says she's done, but Marsau don't believe that Tisha is done. Because in order for somebody to say that, this got to be like the 30th time. You get what I'm saying? Of them showing the same behavior. This goes back to the whole thing of, is Keke jealous of Tisha? Do you think Keke is jealous of Tisha, that Tisha is living the life that Keke wants?
I can believe that in some ways.
How so?
Just because I think trying to think back to like back in the day, like when Keke would talk about like before she kind of went downhill. I think she was trying to go to college too. And, you know, I think her and Tisha were on the same path in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And then she got addicted. She, you know, kind of went a different way. And Tisha continued to grow and gain her education and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I do feel like Keke probably does feel in a way like I could have had this if my life would have turned out differently. But my thing is like, Keke, life is not over. You can still turn things around and do something new. But I think that really has like a impact on her self-esteem when she sees Tisha. So what do you think?
Do you think, I'm not done asking questions. Okay. When she said that, I automatically went to money. Because it's not like Tisha went to school and even though she used her degrees, that's not like she like became a mother and she was a stay-at-home mother for a long time. So I'm like, what is this life that you think Tisha has that Keke want outside of like maybe financial liberty, maybe financial freedom? Marsau is a guy that took care of the house. He takes pride in taking care of the house. So I'm like, what is he talking about? That the fact that Keke may have to wake up and go to 9 to 5 and may have to, you know, maybe so, yeah, maybe live in paycheck to paycheck. I'm guessing. We don't know. I don't know. But I'm like, when he said that Tisha has the life that Keke wants, I didn't think what you think. I didn't think like they went to school and now she got a degree and now she doing her own thing, because nobody really viewed Tisha as like this businesswoman. Until now. Yeah. And even now, I don't view Tisha as a businesswoman. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I view her as someone that's attempting and things like that. But when I see Tisha, I think of Marsau. So, fair or unfair? Oh. I'm like, I don't know. This can just literally just be some type of Cain and Abel type of thing. To where, you know how some cousins grow up as siblings if they grow around each other close. And it's just like, it's you can't really pinpoint it of when it happened. You just remember it always been that way. But also back, you know, in previous episodes, they talked about how, so Keke's father and Tisha's mother are brother and sister. And they had a sibling rivalry. And they carried that on to their kids and trying to like compare them or pit them against each other in ways. Teacher. Yeah. Yeah. So like, I think it would be hard to pinpoint it, but I guess that's what they mean by generational cycles, generational curses, and things like that. Things that makes no sense. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, why are we beefing? And, you know, sometimes cousins is raised amongst each other to be brothers and sisters, to be that close. But you really can't pinpoint the rivalry. Yeah. You just remember there's always been some type of tension between the two. Continue. Yeah. Well, back outside talking to Mel, Keke says she's done with Tisha. Stop right there. What do you mean you are done with Tisha? You are the aggressor. like Tisha did something to you. I don't understand. Like how do you and Tisha got the same line, literally a scene apart from each other, but y'all both did two different things on two different levels. Right. How is Tisha quote unquote done with you and you done with Tisha? Somebody did something, and the fact that Keke is out there basically making it seem like she's like some saint, or making it seem like she's like some type of like Robin Hood person. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what? I'm done with Tisha. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not your line. I don't think that's your line. Continue, Blair. Help us. Keke's husband says you crossed the line, he's ready to put hands on you. And the line that was crossed was them bringing up like, oh, you need a drug test, that be. And he was like, that's just something that was sitting on your heart. That was something you had ready to throw at any point. Now listen here, let me tell you something about insults and throwing shade as a pro myself. Okay. It doesn't sit on your heart. That's how good we are. Okay. It's like it happens like that. It was just there. No, it just came. On the tip of your tongue at the moment. It just came. Yeah. At that moment. Keke, this is why my question number 2 that I hope people are answering is: are you, Keke? Are you? Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's say it together. Keke, are you? You know, because the fact that you see yourself as a victim is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you come over here like, you know, I came over here just trying to do my thing, you know, just making sure she good and stuff like that. So she won't look stupid out here in these streets, you know, with her marriage and things like that. I'm trying to give her information and blah, 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 blah. You know what? I'm done. What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How is this about you now?
Right.
How is this about how you've been done wrong because you think what you did was basically like, you know, I tried. I'm wiping my hands clean now.
Yeah.
And that's why Mel's talking to you like a kindergartner. She said, is there a way that we could have handled this differently? Mm-hmm. Dude, like,
sure was.
Dude, like, you think that was the best approach? You know? No, I'm not. You see, whenever somebody's trying to use that calm voice as an adult and talking to you as a child, they don't view you as a mature or equal. Yeah. So Mel was talking to you as if she was talking to one of her kids. Mm-hmm. And then like that, oh, okay, you hit your brother upside his head. Do you think that was nice? Mm-hmm. Do like you think that was the right thing to do? It's condescending to an adult.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because Keke, at this point, I go out on the ledge and say it, they don't respect you. Mel don't respect you.
None of them.
Mel don't respect you as an equal. Mm-hmm. Mel respect you as like a charity. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm gonna check on Keke. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure she's doing good and stuff. It's like, I'm not saying it's pity, but it's not equal.
It's like she's not okay.
Yeah,
like something's going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna check up on her. While you got other people like Tiffany and stuff like that going to episode 1 when she was like, should we be around this girl? Mm-hmm. Cause I'm not gonna do the, you know, are you okay? You know, could we handle that better? Oh no, I understand what you're saying, and I just want to let you know, Blair, your feelings are valid. Yeah. You know, but what we did was like that's kid talk. Mm-hmm. Y'all like in y'all late 30s and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Anything else on that scene you want to share, Blair? Anything on your mind about that? I went on a tangent, but Keke, you are something. Mm-mm. Continue. Come on, walk us through.
I wanted to know if you thought Keke was jealous of Tisha.
Is she jealous? Uh-huh. No, I said I don't think it's jealousy. I think it's just some type of like that was some type of tension from birth.
Contentious. Yeah.
Like okay. To where you really can't pinpoint it. I don't think it's a thing of like, you know, Tisha went to go to school and Keke didn't go to school, or that like or that Tisha just got married rivalry. And it's just like it's just something that you can't pinpoint it. It's always been some type of back and forth and things like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, we move on. So Mel checks on Tisha and Marsau.
Okay, I thought you was leaving, Mel.
Mel, she's talking to Marsau and she's saying, you know, we really do try not to move like that. And I would agree. Like with this show, they try not to. I mean, they've gotten into a couple of physical situations before, but for the most part, they try to communicate.
Yeah, I see Mel over there talking like a producer. She is talking like a Carlos King representative.
Right, trying to make sure the cast is good.
Yeah.
And Marsau, he's saying that this has been going on for some years and, you know, about the rumors. And he was saying when people hear the worst of him, they automatically believe it's true.
That is facts.
And I will say, Marsau, he didn't help himself in the earlier years of clearing his name. He kind of just let people believe what they wanted to, even his wife, which I thought was wild. But I can understand frustration of if you're really not doing something and people keep bringing stuff up and trying to pin stuff on you and nothing's been proven, it gets frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating.
All I gotta say is to King Marsau, keep living your life, buddy. They've been trying to get us for the longest time. You see,
don't include yourself in that.
No, I'm going to include myself because guess what, Marsau, me and you are one.
No, we're one.
For the longest time, don't be jealous.
Okay.
For the longest time, they've been trying to pin Marsau on things that they've been accused of. His own mother-in-law, you know, trying to accuse him of things cheating. They try to bring us pictures of his back, things of that nature. There's no clear evidence. Y'all been saying this for how many seasons now? Seasons on seasons on seasons.
And it is kind of getting old. Seasons on seasons.
And guess what? This is Keke. We're not on season 2. You get what I'm saying? This is not season 1 part 2. We are not season 3. You're talking about everybody when we want to know about you.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Really?
Was that you on the camera? You know what I mean? Why was that you on the camera? And things of that nature. So that's why I could see Marsau and many times than not, I think for him, he can take getting rumors from us. Because we're nobodies.
Yeah.
It takes two tandem right here. Like, it don't matter to him. But I think when it's family, someone who he considers close because by proximity she's close with Tisha.
Yeah, people who have Tisha's ear.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really understand why. Okay, I understand why everybody else is against me because they don't know me. But I'll probably let you in my house. Mm-hmm. I'll probably let you in my car. I probably hung around you. I probably hung around your kids. Why you like? Okay, I understand there's things for TV, but like me.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. I'm around.
And if anybody's gonna bring it up, why our family?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially on this public platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, Tiffany came with the baby at a great time.
Listen here, I forgot you was on the show, Tiffany.
And she came in throwing shots at her husband, honey. So Tiffany says Ace is with her because Lou is off doing what he does, coaching. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's at work. Okay.
Let him work.
Yeah. So Jalen is driving the Jeep up to the backyard. Mm-hmm. And Kimmi, she sees the Jeep and she says, "That's mine. That's mine." Mm-hmm. She gets excited. She runs out to the Jeep. She's dancing with the roof off and has her best friend get in. And she drives off into the sunset with her bestie, driving around the block.
That's what happened.
That was a really cute and funny scene. I really liked seeing Kimmi like happy like that.
Let this be a lesson, fellas. Don't give her that Jeep. Don't give her that thing she really wants, because the minute she get it, she go take her bestie. She ain't say, "Let me get her grab my husband." You know what I mean? The one who brought it for me. She said, "Let me grab my bestie." Uh-huh. And then he like, "Where y'all going?" Bye.
She said, "We going on a ride."
I will hope one day that my wife, if I was to buy her a car, that she will at least give me the first ride. I will hope.
Now that you say it, I will.
I see it's not, trust me, it's not on the forefront of her mind. She's going to drive all the way to her friend to pick her up and then give her the first ride. See, let that be a lesson, man. Let her keep that soccer mom van. Okay? Don't buy her that nice Jeep or that nice car because you ain't going to get the first ride. Mm-hmm. Okay, continue. Come on. That was a good scene, though. Yeah. I totally forgot that it was a surprise party for her. Mm-hmm. Continue.
Yeah, Tisha is telling the ladies who, pretty much her cousin Courtney got there a little bit later.
Her little cousin, right?
Yeah, her little cousin.
I got something about that. Go ahead.
And she was talking to them and, explaining what happened. Mm-hmm. Tiffany is not surprised Keke and Tisha aren't on good terms. Mm-hmm. And if Marsau is having his wife's back, it must be serious because he doesn't usually do that. Mm. It's like, okay, Tiffany, just throwing your zingers in because you got there late. So you just got to make yourself known.
It's a little late, Tiffany. Mm-hmm. It's a little late for you. But you know what? Continue. Yeah.
Well, Marsau and Amin, which is Keke's husband, were about to fight because he said something about Keke being a dope head. Yeah. And Marsau tells everybody at the table that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't think anything could have caused the drink being thrown other than drugs. He said it because he was upset. He wanted to make Amin mad to get him to pay for what Keke did, since Marsau can't confront a woman.
Facts.
Stormi asked, "Is that what you did with Courtney when you was calling him Mr. Steele?" And Marsau said, like, "Look, you calling me a B in the middle of the meeting is not cool, and it also means your man has to cash that check for you since I can't confront you."
Facts.
And Stormi said, "If you were bothered by it, you could have said something." Really, Stormi?
Stormi?
Get real.
Continue.
They both shake on Stormi not calling him a B anymore, but in the confessional, Stormi, she says she feels that Marsau does things that warrant him getting called that name.
Okay, now let's talk. Now, there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about. I think I'm going to revisit Courtney in the next scene, and Courtney as in the cousin. Now, Stormi, it's not about you. Last episode, Stormi. I was like, you know what, Stormi, you did good this episode. Like, you know what, I'm happy you're on the show. Now this episode, I'm like, get off my show. This is one of my favorite shows. Get off this show. Like, don't be so. No one. Put like this. You was upset, and when you addressed Marsau, you did not say you look handsome. Mm-hmm. You didn't say that's a nice shirt. You didn't say, "Ooh, you getting smart with me. You are intelligent." You said words that would try to push a button. Mm-hmm. And that's what all the guys who's at the table were saying. Like, stop it. Yeah. Stop it. And I literally said a couple episodes ago, I said, what happens is when a man gets disrespected by a woman, I'm automatically looking for the guy. I'm looking like, who is responsible for this lady here? Mm-hmm. And he could be minding his business. He could be nice. He could be all those things. But he going to have a rude awakening. He got to cash that check now. And then he's going to yell at you when y'all get home after I beat him up. You get what I'm saying? So it's like Stormi have this, I don't know what it is with this, like, I'm just going to use the term ghetto princess. Stormi is obviously successful.
Yeah.
Stormi is obviously smart. Stormi is obviously a beautiful black woman, right? She doesn't have to be portrayed as a ghetto or this how I was raised. You know, I was called a B when I was 3 years old, and I've been that since I was 3. It's like, it's like you're almost 40. You're almost 40.
Like, and, clearly,
and you have a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
Why are you like representing for poverty? Like, it's weird. You get what I'm saying? To where you don't have to do that. I 100% with the guys agree. I agree with Martell. I agree with Maurice. I agree with Marsau. And she tried to be like, but like, you call yourself a bad bee too. And that's what I'm like, a big bad bee. And I was like, no, he was basically being condescending and basically just being passive aggressive.
And he was trying to let the air out of, you know.
Exactly. Because guess what? The minute that happened, I'm sure everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah. He was trying to make light of it so things didn't escalate.
This is how I know, like, you need to be off my show. Marsau has been Marsau from season 1, and not one woman on the show called him a B. Not one. You got to be the special one that called him a B. You've been around him the least, and you the one that called him a B. So Marsau, being a smart guy that he is, he let the air out the room, like you said, to where it like all the spotlight won't be on you. Stop it. Moral of the story: stop calling men B's. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I'm just like, Stormi, she knows better. Everybody, I mean, even Kimmi was like, well, she knows that. And Marsau, they shook on it. He was like, well, she didn't know. No, she's a grown woman. She knows not to call a man a B. She was even talking about like, oh, well, you know, what if Courtney would have stood up? Like, da-da-da. And then Marsau's like, I would have fought him. Like, why do you think people are scared of Courtney? Like, what do you mean? If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. I'm willing to fight.
This is the South. This is the South.
Like, I don't care.
They are not going to fight. Courtney is not going to fight. Marsau is not going to fight. They rather going to shoot each other. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. It's like this ghetto princess. It's kind of like this high school mentality.
Yeah, like, my man gonna fight for me.
It's like,
so, no, like, why would you put him in that position?
He's not going to fight.
Yeah.
Courtney is not going to fight. You know, he's got gray in his beard. He's big and things like that. He is living his life. You think he make all this money for him to get in some little scrap off with Marsau? If he really wanted to fight, he would have came to the barbecue. Knowing that Marsau was going to push the buttons and he was like looking for a reason to fight. Trust me, there's guys that look for reasons to fight.
Just be waiting.
Courtney looked for reasons not to be around Marsau. So that already lets me know that he don't want to fight. He don't want to fight the guy, not because he's scared of Marsau, but because it's like, yo,
it's not worth it.
It's not, exactly. So stop putting him in these situations. Stop trying to even paint Courtney as this, like, you don't want to get on Courtney's bad side. Wait a minute now. Like this stuff could be used in court.
Exactly.
I don't have a bad side. I'm a happy guy.
And to me, and that's the same thing like when Tiffany was putting Lou up against the guys and, you know, running back with stories and stuff like that. Not saying Stormi's running back with stories. I mean, Marsau is doing the things he's doing. But don't put your husband in a situation to where, you know, even though you feel like he's big and strong and he could fight anybody can lose to a gun. So it's just not safe. And it's not worth it.
In the South.
It's not worth it.
And Courtney's not going to fight. Like
he's trying not to.
Trying is not even his character, in my opinion. Based on what I've seen, he had an opportunity when he had a one-on-one conversation with Marsau.
He even touched him.
He's not going to fight Marsau. He's just not that guy. I think maybe back in his day, maybe they've been together for a while.
Yeah.
That maybe she's seen some things that maybe that may be a testament to what she's portraying him as. But he, like I said, he's older and things like that. He has a family. He has money. He has a reputation. He's a businessman. Why is he in the streets fighting?
Yeah.
As if he lived like in the hood somewhere. Stop that, man. You're not a ghetto princess. You're an entrepreneur. Okay? You're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
You're not this ghetto princess, okay? Continue, please. Stormi, get off my show.
Yeah. Kimmi says that Keke had tremors when she hugged her. And Kimmi, she tried to say, like, well, maybe it was anxiety or, you know, nerves from the fight. We know what tremors means, Kimmi.
I really don't. I know what tremors mean, but I know that was a major sign of it.
Of withdrawal, drug withdrawal.
Yeah, I didn't know. But if that's the case, does that mean she's not on it? If she's having withdrawals like that?
Well, the thing is, you can be on it maybe a day before, a few hours before, and if you haven't had your next hit, you could be shaken.
If
you're really clean and have been clean and she's on the methadone like she's supposed to be doing, she wouldn't be having the shakes and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, Kimmi saying, well, maybe she just might need more help, not even in the drug respect, but just saying like people calling and checking on her, a support system. And the cousin Courtney, who's there, she says that, we really do need to be understanding and to not make light of her situation. And Marsau, he's just fed up. He's like, look, I picked Keke up off the side of the streets. I've talked to her numerous times, and they were there for her when no one was, including her mother and her husband. And Marsau is like, this isn't just from today. Like, this is anger and this is hurt from everything that we've done for her, and this is what she does to us.
Yeah, I have 2 questions on that. It's twofold. Well, one is a statement and one is a question. Courtney, the cousin, just stop. You're probably the youngest. We're not going to judge you for what you know because you only know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's not even. You always got somebody that's always defending something that has the least amount of data. You get what I'm saying? Do you think it was fair for them to have a conversation that in depth about Keke on the show for everybody to see nationally and maybe even internationally? I don't know how far the show goes.
I'll say yeah.
How so?
Because
I'm talking about even going as far as trimmers and things like that. I ain't know what that meant until you just explained it to me. Like, do you think it's really that fair for them to even go that in depth about it?
The reason I do is because Keke is over here pointing her fingers at other people, trying to drudge up cheating rumors and trying to meet with Tisha on camera to play the news and to get this ex on here. Like, she's coming with a lot. So for people to say like, well, what really is going on, because you're doing a lot and going into detail, I don't fault them for it, because I feel like, Keke, if you would have just stayed on yourself and what's going on with you, then nobody would be going into detail about you or your situation. But you are acting erratic and you're trying to pull up trash and dead bodies and skeletons on other people. So sure, I mean, the gloves are off. Fine. I'm in the middle, because we want realness in the show. Like, it felt real. Yeah, that's a real conversation. I felt like I was at a cookout. Yeah, it felt real. So shout out to Carlos King and producers and the cast for all that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, Dad, that kind of lives forever though. Like it's on TV. You get what I'm saying? Like, it may something that may feel good in the moment and like it may look good in the moment. Like a year or 2, 3, 4 years from now, it may be like, damn, like we probably didn't need to have this conversation. That, like, this man said, raise your hand if any of y'all ever pick Keke off the side of the street. I'm like, whoa, where are we going with this? And I'm like, we get into details now. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know if Marsau and Tisha will look back on that in the future and be like, we didn't have to get that detailed. I don't know if they're gonna look back in the future and feel that way. I see what you're saying as far as like being the bigger person and trying to be mindful. It lives forever. But I'm just like, she did a lot. They're in the heat of the moment. I don't fault them for it. Oh no, I'm not faulting them for it. I'm not saying like, I'm not saying they're villains for it. I'm not even saying. Is it right? I'm just saying, like, in that moment, you're having a conversation, and I think the conversation was so natural that like people really forgot that Dave's like, this is a TV show. You get what I'm saying? And they saying things and basically putting things out. And if she is clean, you get what I'm saying? Like, we all making jokes of it and doing you know what I mean? But if she is clean and something like that, and she just acting erratic because she just hate Tisha, I guess, I don't know. It's like, wow, this is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? To put this out on TV for everybody to see and for everybody to literally come to an agreement. I never seen social media on one accord that be like, yeah, Keke is. You get what I'm saying? I haven't heard one person except Courtney, the cousin, that's saying, you know, maybe she's not. And Stormi over here, like, she's not. And I'm and Marsau and things like that. And I think that's what really made Marsau go,
y'all don't know this girl.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what we've been through with this girl. Mm-hmm. And I would say if you are someone who is a drug user and is an abuser of drugs and dabble in and out of it, don't come with stones in your hands. And Keke was just coming. Mm-hmm. Keke literally could have just laid low.
Yeah. And nobody would have had nothing to say.
Nobody would have said nothing about drugs. People would have thought it, like, why was Keke on Crime Stoppers? Mm-hmm. But now they see you so you telling me the last time we saw you was when you was on TV on Crime Stoppers, and then the next time we see you in person, you throwing stuff on people. Mm-hmm. People is like, yo,
yeah,
what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. We're not in the streets. We're not little kids. We're grown people with businesses. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know. It actually leads me to think this, and then I let you move on. Uh-huh. Even though Tisha is not the one that is that's on the forefront of being a business person, she's part of that circle.
Yeah,
she's part of that Maurice, Kimmi, Mel, Martell, that original love and marriage Huntsville circle, that comeback six or basically the comeback group and things like that. Being around Stormi and things like that. And I think Keke is like, even though Tisha's not the businessman, she's like, why are you in this like group? Mm-hmm. Like why do you get to be in this group?
Yeah.
And things like that. Like this is a successful group of people. You got husbands out here buying their wives cars just on a random Tuesday. You get what I'm saying? When he wanted to buy Maybach, he wanted to buy a more expensive car. Mm-hmm. So some people could just be jealous. Because not even because they want what you want, but they don't believe you deserve to have what you have.
That's facts.
To where it's like, hey, I don't really want what you want. You supposed to be where I'm at. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want what you want, but you don't deserve what you have. And I think maybe it's more of that than more of like, I want the life. I just don't want you to have the life.
Yeah.
It's just different that way. Continue.
Yeah, well, Marsau says, look, hurt people, but people can hurt you back.
Oh, yeah. I love, Marsau gave me a saying. He gave me a new saying. Thank you, Cain.
Well, we can't all sit around and guess your triggers and walk on eggshells. Like, we're just not going to do that. And then Stormi says, look, the drug comment was below the belt.
It's there.
She's saying, well, at first she said it like facts, like she's clean. And then she goes around asking people, is she clean? Yeah. Stormi goes into a personal experience about her best friend who was on drugs, who no longer lives with her. And Marsau was asking, well, why doesn't she live with you? Mm-hmm. Like, clearly something happened. There was a reason. Mm-hmm. And Stormi, like, she tries not to get into it. Marsau keeps pressing her. And then she starts to cry. Mm-hmm. And Marsau apologizes. I mean, he even said to him, when he said chill out, I took it as him talking to himself, like, okay, I went too far. Okay, I did a lot. And so he went over and apologized. I saw, like, a couple of tweets, people being like, oh, like, he didn't want to steal with Courtney. That's why he apologized. I think Marsau has a heart, y'all. No. Okay? Like, he was like, clearly I did too much.
That's Stormi's fault. Mm-hmm. That's Stormi's fault for, like, portraying her husband as, like, some hitman.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I 100% agree with Marsau, and I 100% agree that he should have apologized and that, you know, things of that nature because of how Stormi got emotional about it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't take away the fact that his question was legit.
Yeah. It was fair.
Why don't she live with you now? Mm-hmm. She's your bestie. What did she steal? Mm-hmm. What did she take? Mm-hmm. What did she smoke away? You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. When you have these type of conversations on TV, look, if this was just a conversation to have privately, then cool. But this is something that's going to be replayed, reviewed. It's going to be another conversation at the reunion. And that's something that she going to have to live with. And granted, I do believe what you say about, hey, listen, if you know you got these things going on in your life and you're trying to fight demons yourself, you shouldn't be over here trying to put things on other people. Like, worry about yourself. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Marsau is 100% right. Hurt people, but the hurt people. Okay? like
you can get her back.
Exactly.
Okay?
Like, just because you hurt and you hurt me doesn't mean that I can't return the hurt. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's like, yo, like this whole conversation was, listen, 10 out of 10 on the episode. It
was like kitchen table talk.
It was an amazing episode.
Yeah, I was like, this is a great conversation.
Episode. I don't care if it helped anybody. It was just amazing. It felt real. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because maybe it is real. And I really do not understand why Keke was so off her rocker. I'm not going to say it's the drugs. I'm not even going to go that far. But I'm like, something is wrong with you, though. Mm-hmm. Because if this is how you act, and Marsau kind of alluded to that, if this is how you act sober, mm-hmm. like that doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
At least if you're being, quote unquote, influenced in the way, we can always say it's this, and you need to get off that.
Yeah.
But if this is how you act sober, you're not a good cousin as like a sober person. You're not a good friend as a sober person. You ain't there for people as a sober person. You on Costco or whatever as a sober person doing whatever you're doing that you haven't been charged for. So we're not gonna say you was charged for that because they make it very clear that Carlos don't want to be sued, and I'm with you, Carlos. I may put some up on this episode, but it's like, okay, so we are actually trying to give you an out by saying you may be influenced by something, but if this is how you act soberly, I definitely don't want you around me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like you can't sit with us. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? There's only 2 seats here, Keke. There's no room for you. Mm-hmm. Continue.
Yeah, Marsau's talking to their cousin Courtney and saying, look, they've helped her for a really long time. Yeah. And if, in her sober moments, she will stab you in the back.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. And Tisha's going to remove herself from Keke. She reiterates that they're done.
Tisha, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tell you one thing. You can't tap Marsau at 4:00 in the morning to go pick up your cousin. Mm-hmm. That ain't gonna happen no more. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And my thing is, if Marsau over there picking so and so up, where was her husband? If that story is true,
he said when the husband and the mother wasn't there for her. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And granted, drugs and things of that nature, whatever people doing, their vices and demons that people fight with, it is a strain on the family.
Yeah, and that's why they got like the, Al-Anon and all these different
You got to talk
to
the mic.
Oh, that's why they have Al-Anon and all these different programs to help people mm-hmm. of drug addicted, alcohol addicted folks, because it's a strain on the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So continue.
Yeah. Well, Martell, Chris, Fletcher, and Courtney are all at the gym.
What's up, Martell?
And Martell brings up the barbecue, all the things that happened. Mm-hmm. And Courtney says that Marsau be picking at people. Mm-hmm. Courtney is willing to have a conversation with Marsau, but doesn't think he'll change. Like, look, he's been this way for his whole life. Mm-hmm. I just met the guy. It really isn't going to make a difference.
Now, stop right there. Did Courtney say, I'm willing to fight this guy?
Nope.
Did Courtney say, I'm willing to kill this guy?
Nope.
What did he say he's willing to do?
He said, have a conversation.
Like a grown man.
Yeah.
Stop making Courtney look like he's some thug on the street, Stormi. Stop it. He's not no thug in the street. He's not going to put his hands on Marsau. Not because he's scared of Marsau, and not because Marsau's scared of Courtney. It's because he's grown, and when he wakes up, his body aches. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's just how it happens. He's not a thug. Mm-hmm. Courtney, I'm not going to do you. I'm gonna do you the due diligence of saying, Courtney, you are not a thug. You are a businessman. Mm-hmm. You are a grown up. You are an entrepreneur. You are a co-owner with your wife, and you are to be respected as such, not as some freaking MMA fighter, some boxer, some thug on the street.
Yeah, just somebody you stick somebody.
Exactly,
on.
Someone who basically exactly, mm-hmm. like, get them. No, Courtney, you are a person, and we see you.
Yeah,
and we respect you. Mm. Continue. Stormi just gets me there sometimes. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, Chris brings up the house situation.
Oh no, I thought we was working out.
Look, every time Chris see Martell, he's gonna bring it up, and I ain't mad at it. We was working out. You still ain't at the house, bruh.
Martell was even so happy to talk about the cookout, and he basically was like, "Yo, I'm just happy it wasn't me this time." And then Chris coming, ruining the vibes. Go ahead, continue.
Martell, he's saying that he found a house. Mm-hmm. Chris is saying, "Is it in Atlanta?
Uh-oh.
Is it in
shade,
Houston?" He was like, he could stay at Chateau Shari. He could stay with Mel. I don't care where he go. He can go on a mountain for all I care. Get out the daggone house. So then they end up talking about how Stormi and Chris Fletcher, they're trying to look up the DNA to see if Courtney and Chris are related, mm-hmm. Because they're both from the same hometown. So mm-hmm. that, the DNA stuff is always interesting, and how people do the ancestry thing. I have some family members who are super into that. So mm-hmm. that's cool. And then Martell, he says, like, look, we all got the same blood somewhere. Mm-hmm. And Chris was like, we ain't got no blood.
Stop it, Chris. Stop it. We're all brothers. Hey, Martell, I'm with you, bro. I got the same blood as you, brother. We are brothers.
Don't
okay?
say that.
Okay.
Please don't say that.
Listen here, man. Chris, you ain't got to distance yourself from your mans. That's your mans.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? They don't look alike to me. But mm-hmm. like I said, depending on
they put them up side by side. They look nothing alike.
But like I said, depending on what part of Alabama they from, if they both from Alabama. Mm-hmm. My family's from Utah, Alabama, EUTAW. Mm-hmm. So that's a small town.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a small town where there's not a lot of people, not saying that you will be related, but it's like, it's good to check compared to be somebody, me asking somebody where like we live now and be like, hey, are we related? It's like, yo, in this big city, no. You know what I'm saying? No. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Keke and Amin, her husband, they are moving some stuff out of storage. Yeah. So apparently they're moving into a new home, into a different school district because their oldest son is an athlete. And they want to move him into a school to where they will better utilize his talents.
Facts.
Keke's frustrated that they're going to be uprooting the younger kids. But Amin is saying, look, the other schools are also really good, so the kids will be fine.
Yeah.
Mel, she ends up coming to check on them, and she's trying to explain Marsau's side, saying that, look, if somebody threw a drink at your wife, you jump in, wouldn't you? And Amin was saying that he's really only upset about the comments about her being high.
He's not even upset about the drink being thrown.
And Keke just started therapy for anger management.
Stop right there.
Started when you said it?
Yeah, stop it. Right?
You about to
literally,
sign up now?
When Mel said it, she said her exact words was, I'm about to start.
Oh, okay.
That was her exact words. I'm about to start therapy. Whenever somebody starts with, I'm about to, they're lying to you.
They ain't about to do nothing.
No, because you didn't validate that information. You didn't even think about it until I literally just said it.
Yeah.
Listen, I would say for production value, Carlos King, I know you're successful and you do everything good. So getting production tips from me is crazy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you.
Go ahead and say it anyway.
I'm gonna give you some production tips. It's crazy how we think, and when I say we, the audience, the collective audience, not us. Don't sue us. Sue everybody else. Don't sue us. They think that Keke's is on drugs or being influenced by some substance, right? And then literally the next scene we see is literally her belongings in storage. It's definitely give eviction. It definitely give off
instability.
Yes. Yeah. like I'm like, oh my goodness. If a scene can say 1,000 words, you get what I'm saying? So like it hopefully they are stable and things of that nature, but people already think that Keke is off a rocker, and then to see her climbing over like a buttload of stuff, it just gives off like, wow. Yeah. You know what I mean? Keke, I don't believe you're in anger management. The reason why I believe you're not in anger management is because you don't believe you did anything wrong. Only thing that you believe you did wrong was actually the drink being thrown. You don't believe that the attitude you came in there with was wrong. You don't believe what you were trying to tell Tisha was wrong. You don't believe you believe only thing you had to do to not be wrong was not throw the drink. And I'm like, the drink is really the cherry on top.
Yeah.
A big cherry, but it's the cherry on top. Keke, stop lying to me. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't hit me with the I'm about to. You get what I'm saying? I'm about to. No. Continue, Blair.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Keke only feels like she's wrong about the drink.
Yeah.
The drink. Mel says, look, they joked about the drug stuff when you left. And Mel, she says that she sees Keke's progress and she really thinks that Keke should take a drug test to prove everybody wrong. And Mel brought one.
First of all, before we even get there, there was a part where Mel was telling a story about what they were saying about how Marsau said that they was there for you and that really, I mean, they don't have a problem with you. And he was like, no, that's a lie.
Yeah.
They never liked me.
Yeah.
And things like that. Do you believe Tisha and Marsau's side of the story or Amin and Keke's side of the story? Now I'm going to put you on the block. Who do you believe?
Honestly, like, you may not like my answer, but I think it's a matter of perspective.
Uh-oh.
I think that maybe Amin may have done something or didn't do something, and they may have not liked that. Or maybe they tried to distance themselves from him for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe they don't necessarily have a problem with him, but maybe some of his ways or things like that, they just don't want to be too close. So to me, I think it's a matter of, it's like more gray than I believe they either like him or don't like him. I think might be a way of how they go about interacting with him that where Amin and Keke feel like, oh, they don't like him. You get what I'm saying?
Such as just like maybe on a high and by basis, and maybe just not deep.
Yeah, maybe keep it high and by. Maybe they don't invite him over like to hang out and and eat and all these different things. Like they're just like, that's Keke's husband. We keep him over there. We ain't got no problem, but we also don't want to be too involved. So
that's an interesting perspective. It may be a cop out, but I gotta go with Marsau and Tisha. Well, let me take Tisha out of it. I believe Marsau. Because Marsau got a reason to lie. Them liking Amin or them making it seem like it's not even about them liking Amin. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I should believe y'all, because the conversation is not about how phony they are. They try to make it seem like, Marsau and Tisha is phony.
Yeah, like, they all fake. They fake.
And I'm like, that's not even the purpose of the conversation. That was just a small, minute thing that Mel was gossiping about to them about, they don't really got a problem with you. They like you. No, they don't. It's like, well, that's not even the point. That's really the small point. The whole point was really they was talking about Keke on drugs.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, let's not be hooked up on this one thing and then we just change the whole premise of the conversation. So I don't know what he expect from Marsau or Tisha to feel like he has to be liked. But I would have to believe Marsau in this, because there's no reason. Like, he have nothing to lose. He have nothing to gain from lying either. Like, he don't care if he's viewed as a good person or a bad person. He just like, yo, I don't have a problem with Amin. Actually, I said that just to get him mad because, like, my wife got a drink thrown on her and stuff like that. So I have no reason. But whenever somebody over there is you could easily just say, like, yeah, they don't like me, but then you're trying to paint them as phony people. It's like, why are you trying to make what they say seem like untrustworthy or that they're liars unless they telling the truth about something?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So Mel was definitely in her Carlos King bag.
Yes.
And the whole, like,
producer Mel was here this whole episode.
We have a drug test in the trunk right now. And I say, you do it.
Keke's face completely changed. She was like,
Listen here, how would you feel? Listen here, if Keke's smart, Keke would see that as 100% disrespect and unfriend herself from Mel.
Yeah.
Mel ain't for you the way you think Mel is for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, Mel is not for you, because guess what? You meeting her at these locations and things of that nature. She ain't inviting you to her house, no matter where her house is or where she's staying. So I think you need to really watch Mel. Not because Mel is a snake. It's because I don't think people are for you the way you think people are for you, Keke. How would you feel if your friend was like, I don't believe you on drugs, Blair. You know what? You know how much I believe you're not on drugs? I got a drug test right now. Take it.
No, I would definitely take offense and tell him, get out of my face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like,
I'd be like, you don't believe me? Really?
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't care what you say. Your actions show otherwise.
Yeah. Anything else on the show?
That is all.
Listen, the questions were, again, is Keke jealous of Tisha? Is Keke, I ain't getting Tasha Kate. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Put the together. Who do we believe? Whose story do we believe? Do we believe Tisha and Marsau's side of the story, or Keke and her husband's side of the story? Do we want Stormi off the show? Yes, I'll answer that right now. Okay. Anything else you want to share? Anything else? Any thoughts on the show?
It was a great episode. I really liked the conversation. It was very raw and real, and it felt like, like the audience was brought into the cookout at the table, and we were having this conversation with them. So it was good. It was good.
It felt like the good old days. Listen here, I watched the other review channels. I don't want to hear y'all talking about, love and marriage. Huntsville just do rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's the same thing for multiple seasons. They gave us something totally different this episode. Let's give Carlos King his respect for that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all.
Y'all be good.
Bye.